The better than average bias, or the bias blind spot, is what happens when you ask people, are they better than average? Or how good drivers are they? And most of them say that they're better than average, which is usually a little problematic because more than 50% cannot be better than average. And they attribute that to the problem is that we don't know how good other people are. So we basically think that other people are not as good as they are, even though they're better than they are. And what I would like to propose here, a different reason why it could be that most people, or more than 50%, think they're better than average. It's much more than, I think it's like 80% think they're better than average. And what I'm proposing here is that the matrix here are the issue, because what constitute good driving? When there is no consensus on what constitute good driving, and you ask people, and even if you ask scientists, I'm sure they're not there is no consensus about what constitutes good driving. Therefore, when you ask someone what a good driving is, they say they're better than average, and it could be that they are better than average on their matrix, on their own attributes. They are better than average. For example, let's give a concrete example. You have driver A, which is a fast driver. What I mean by that is they're driving faster than normal, but they think they're doing a good job of it. They're cutting some people, but they think they were good in avoiding accidents, and they could be that that is the case. However, that driver A to driver B, that is a slow driver, very careful, only speed limit, they would think driver A is no good, is not a good driver. So what we see happen, both of them think they are better than average because on their matrix, they are better than average. The slower driver think they're a good driver because they drive slower and they're very careful. They don't drive above the speed limit. They always stop on time. You ask driver A, which is a fast driver, and they drive a little bit more than the speed limit, but they never had close. They don't have a lot of close calls, and they notice. They're fully aware of their surroundings. So we see two type of people that think they're better than average. And again, on their own matrix, they are better than average. That's the point I want to emphasize here. Because on those matrix, they are better than average. And it could be that 80% indeed are better than average. Again, on those matrix. So it's not the bias that people think that they're better than other people and you think other people are not as good. It's the problem is different matrix of being a good driver. And that's the way to check that theory, is by if we give people a description of what constitutes good driving, I would predict that there is more conformity and closer to the 50-50% distribution of where the driver falls, either to a good driver or not a good driver. If you tell people this is what constitutes good driving, then I think more people would admit they are not good drivers because they see that in front of their face. But when you ask, are you a good driver? It's very ambiguous, and if each person think that they are better on their own matrix because you don't give them any matrix. So they would say that. So it's not, I don't think it's a bias, it's a problem of bias, which is what we tend to think, or that's the theory, and the biases theory claims. I think there is a different reason here. Thank you.